show. Hello, everyone. We are starting the
Okay.
show. We are.
Hi.
Oh, you're so sweet. Oh, I'm
Goodbye.
very upset that I managed to have it muted when Colleen said I love you all so much. But let's go to book club show. This one. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Maude's book club. Sorry, I was just hanging out with the members plus like we do before the shows, and we were having a really big conversation about America's tipping culture. So many thoughts. What was just a little simple comment, we unleashed. Anyway, how is everyone? Hello to all my lovelies who I saw at Lit RPG Con if you're in here. And I'm saying that because I see Captain Heather's in the comments and Lieutenant Ginger's in the comments of TikTok. And I got to meet them both in real life and it was awesome. And guys, Lieutenant Ginger's got an inch on me. 2? Possibly? Can you remind me? I just remember I saw her and I was just like, I'm looking eye level and it's a treat. Uzi Jesus is in the chat saying, I wish I was there. Heather is saying big hugs. There were big hugs. There were big hugs. KP Dub says, sure, rub it in for all of us who could not go. Sorry, I had a lot of fun. It was great. Book readers really have opinions, don't we? Who'd have thunk, Avery? Who'd have thunk that we get together regularly just to chat about everything? Lots of fun. Love the opinions. Vaden says, just to recap, unanimous though that American tipping culture sucks and makes so many situations uncomfortable. I had an uncomfy moment and it's just like, but always tip your waiters because they're in a system that is hurting them, and so all we can do is help. When are we getting to the R&R part of the book? Did you make me read that out loud so it sounded like oh no? Hold on. KP, read out your comment in your American accent and listen for oh no.
When are we getting to the R&R part?
Yeah.
Referring to Relaine and Renarin.
Oh, okay. I really thought you were tricking me into saying oh no. And I'm like, I will just say oh no. That's totally fine. The R&R part. Oh, the R&R part.
I'll find other ways to torment you, Maude.
Yay. Can't wait. Look, if you're new around here, we're doing part 2 of book 5 of the Stormlight Archive. This is Wind and Truth. We have covered up to the end of day 3 initially for part 1. This will only be conversation about days 4 to days 7. So anything from day 8 to the end, we ain't getting there. We've got 2 more weeks before we're getting to that. How is it that trying to read 400 plus pages in 2 weeks? Anyone else struggling?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Goodness, we've been trying our best. I was listening up until 2 hours ago. Nope. An hour ago. So I'm like frantically trying to collect thoughts and research and get notes together so that we can have a coherent, packed 2-hour discussion on all of this. 2.5 speed is your friend. Look, not with Michael Kramer. Michael Kramer, I really don't want to go past 1.9. But Kate reading, we can crank it a little. They have different tempos. Michael Kramer will go a little bit faster, whereas Kate goes slower. So that is messing with me too. Toaster Poster said, I read 4 books avoiding Wind and Truth. Toaster, what books did you get into? Academic, you reckon Michael Kramer reads so slow? I mean, 1.9 is nothing to balk at. 1.9, I mean, 1.5 Dungeon Crawler Carl, because that's as fast as I can go. I mean, I would also make a really quick open and shut case argument that you're smarter than me. So there's that. I feel that your brain can comprehend a quickness way better than I can. That's on focus, concentration, and having read it before. Told you, open shut case. There's no debate here. There's none at all. It's just me being right. Oh, it feels good though. Your ADHD is more. Oh, so you're hyper focusing more. I'm not. I'm like, and then what about? Oh, I didn't write back to this. Oh, I have to answer that email. and I just call it my brain's pinging at the moment. So when I cut someone off, when I get an idea mid-sentence, I'm like, sorry, my brain's pinging. And it says, ding, idea, ding, we have another idea, ding, 3 more ideas. And I'm like, ah, so fast. Toaster Poster read the Chonos Chronicles. Jeff Hayes is a grumpy warlock detective. Well, that's fun. Oh my gosh, LG Spear or LGS Pear says, hello, Maude, it's my birthday today. Do you know what that means? Well, I feel like it's a member plus privilege. We like to sing happy birthday in the most horrific, broken, distorted, enthusiastic, which is almost the worst part. Happy birthday for everyone. But we've got a lot to, it is beautiful. I mean, I've been on the receiving end of it a couple of times, and I believe you guys sent me a video. So if I'm ever having a terrible day and I want to cry, I can just play that. I reckon if we really try hard, we could shatter mirrors. Anyway, no worries. Where are you from? And is it LGS Pair or is it LG Spear or is it Ligup Spear? And you're just, trying to get me to speak Parseltongue. Let me know. And are you from Australia? Because you just chucked in a no worries like it was with needing a mate after that real bad. No worries, mate. All right, let's get stuck into it. So what I'm going to do is a quick recap on what did happen in part 1. So for those that are, you're in the Bronx. No worries. Spear. Let's go, Spear. That's what the LG stands for, no? Let's go, Spear. How's the Bronx? How's the fires going up that way? Oh my God, Kat, did you just come in hot with science? How dare you? We are a fiction book club where even if there's science, it's of the fiction variety. My God, dropping facts. What are you doing with your phone? I doubt we could shatter glass because that is frequency-based and requires a specific resonance, and we will never, ever, ever achieve that. Sick. Bobaverse, am I just a joke to you, Maude? Probs. Everything's a joke if you try hard enough. Isn't that right? Jimmy, our resident stand-up comedian.
I thought you were going to say KP Dubs.
Well, I mean, if it's a pun, everything's a pun if you just give KP 5 seconds. Just wait. Everyone count. 1, 2. He's like, please, I got nothing. Ain't no way.
He already did the Renaissance pun in the chat. He's ready. He came quick.
We could
Instead of resonance, we could do it with Renaissance.
Oh, there you go. We have Discord noises as well. I'm looking for a ba-dum boom ching, a ba-dum boom, a ba-ba-da boom. I got a duck. KP gave me a duck. Well,
do it again.
Wait around long enough, and what is it? Duck around and find out. We see it's pales in comparison. All right, we're going to go through all of this. That's a pun. If you are a book club member, guess what? You have access to all of these notes in a Google Doc. We are currently at 22 pages of notes. Is this a book club or is this homework? Honestly, I ask myself too often. But what we're going to go through is day 4, day 5. And I want to call this previously on the final 10 days because this is the recap that we have so far. All right. And if you're in the doc, we're going from page 10. Okay. We got the board. Right. This is what across the board is what's happening. This is the whole premise of the book. There is a contest of champions on day 10 at Urithiru. Whichever side holds at the deadline, taking over regions, they get to keep all of it. Now, Taravangian is secretly the new odium, and 3 fronts are currently being attacked in real time during these days. We've got Azamir, where Adolin is trying to hold the front there. Yasna is taking charge at Thalen City, and Sigzil, who has replaced Kaladin as the leader of the commander, my captain, of the Shattered Plains. So consecutively, there's battles and shit going down, and then there's a little beat action. Shadesmar. All right. At the end of day 2, for a recap, the Ghostblood the sabotage meant that Dallin Andamani and even Gav got sucked into the spiritual realm, and then Shallan, Renarin, and Rulain dove in after Mraize and Yathel. Have I fucked with everyone enough for Yathel yet? Are you doing Yathel now that I've told you what it is and what it sounds like? And are we all picturing Princess Leia when she's wearing the helmet doing the rescue in Jabba's palace before she says to Han, I love you, someone who loves you very much. But before that, she goes, Yathel. Yeah, cool. Just in case. I like what Alicia just said about Vaden's name. Cool. So Ghostblood shit's happening. Now, I'm going to have this conversation real quick. It's really, really hard to keep up with the Sanderson news because, as I found out in the interview, Brandon Sanderson is actively writing the next trilogy for Mistborn, which is the Ghostbloods trilogy. Now, I'm guessing Sando's not writing a villain trilogy. I'm guessing he's writing it from a player in the game that's got a positive agenda. So that's been going on in my head every time there's conflicts with the Ghostbloods. I'm like, are they really the bad guys? Are they trying to F shit up? Academic says maybe not. The problem is the little birdie's chirping every single time Ghostbloods is on page here. And I'm like, I'm breaking fourth wall. Starting to think a little more than I should be because semi-spoiler from the man himself. What am I going to do? Get mad? No. All right. Zeth. Now, is Lisa still in here? I thought it was Sun Villano, but it's Sun Naturo. It's Zeth Sun Naturo. What's the difference between
he's son Naturo. He's Naturo's son, and he's grandson of Villano.
Dun. Okay, I'm happy again. Zeth, son Villano. Got it.
This is a question I keep having, but I'm not sure why he goes between the two. Like, I was wondering if he was like ashamed of his father and went with his grandfather, but now it sounds like he's more like, I'm not worthy of my father's name, so I'm going with grandfather. Still kind of jury's still out there.
I'm not even convinced I know my grandmother's real name or my grandfather's real name. Good Lord. It's Maude, daughter Lyndall. Wow, that really does not have the same. Put a fat beat under that, someone. Give that one a breath of life. Woof. You know my great-grandfather's name. Okay, sorry, my front door buzzer is going off. What are we doing, guys? What are we doing? Ooh. All right, so Zeth, Sun Villano, Sun Naturo is currently on his pilgrimage. We are getting some epic flashbacks. We are to his journey before time. That was what, 25 years ago? Fact check, please. 25-ish years ago? Nope. 16, 25, 26, between 16 and 25 is what I will take. 27. Shit. I didn't even get that right. All right. So maybe it started off 27 years ago. Now it's at the 25-year mark. I'm just going to insert myself into the gray area of being correct. Whatever it takes. Great. Zeth and Kaladin are in the present day having their therapy together, and Zeth is getting flashbacks. So this is a very Zeth-heavy book. How do we feel about that, everyone, now that we're 2/3 of the way through the book? Are we digging our Zeth history, our Zeth backstory, our Zeth, yes, there's someone sadder than Kaladin backstory? Vaden.
Oh yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. So I think that has become my favorite character now in this series, at least. And it's partially, even though he can be very frustrating at times. Like, I just love how much he questions everything. Like, he's always now that he's broken out of that whole like I obey everyone constantly. He's you see where he came from with that, and now we see him trying to finally get his character arc and see, get to see it where he's actually learning morals and ethics and doing it on his own.
But there's really interesting conversations about the shades of how brains work. And I love learning about how Renarin's brain works versus how Relane's culture works versus how Zeth's matter-of-factness works. Like someone had to teach him nuance.
yes.
And it's like oh my God, there's so many beautiful moments about trying to understand how the world and brains work. Renarin is definitely on the spectrum in terms of people. I feel like a burden because people have to put in more effort to try and like interpret or communicate with me in a way that I will understand. And it is not, it is an effort-based thing to do. And I really relate that with my family dynamics. You cannot have nuance there. Avoid common sense because that's like, understanding anecdotes or it's just truth, right? Which is why Zeth's so interesting because this is someone hunting for truth. And he's realizing that there is no one set of true law that everyone abides by. And I think the more he explores the world and the more he goes, I know, Zelda. I know. Oh, well, did you have to ring the doorbell? My new mic doesn't have a mute button. Zeth, can you shush? Otherwise, I'll put you on camera. I haven't shut you. Oh, bark one more time. Did you hear it? Did you hear how cute that little bark? Okay. Yeah, I feel like with Zeth, he was very sheltered. It almost sounds like a kid that just had the wrong thing happen at the wrong time. Oh my God. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Hi.
Another thing I was say is that like it's not just as much what's that set this like, although that's also really fun, but just how all the characters interact with him. Like the way he talks to Calvin, talks to everyone else. Like he's so like blunt about what he thinks.
Thank you. I don't even know what this is. Thanks. Zelda, get on your bed.
But yeah, anyways, I think that's the thing I like specifically about Zeth is seeing the way he talks to everyone else is just so refreshing.
Really, really interesting. I love that. I find it kind of, I don't know. I don't think frustrating is a fair thing to call it, but it's just because our brains work so differently. I don't think I'm supposed to show this, but I will say it says an exclusive invitation for Maude Garrett. And they spelt Garrett wrong. But that's all I'll show about that. I don't think I'm supposed to post it on social medias, and this kind of counts. But it doesn't mean I can't open it and not show you. Oh, what a dickish thing to do. I've messed up so much in this stream. He had to deliver it while I was live. Okay. Ooh. Oh. Ah. No.
It's good sounds or bad sounds. I don't know anymore.
Save it for the after show.
Okay.
Yep.
Zeth approved. Okay, what's Alicia saying about Zeth's backstory? I wish we had it sooner. I have also kind of been hearing about, thinking about the structure of these books. It's like the story as a whole is progressing, and as these characters are progressing in real time, then we go back and explore sort of like how they got there. And why was Oathbringer Dalinar's book? Why was Shallan sort of like Words of Radiance more so? Like, at what point? Why was Zeth, and why is Lift going to be the next book? You know, like, how many pages do you need? I swear. What now? Okay. I've got phone buzzing. I got dog barking. I got. Surely it's not that big. I mean, I have a good camera. Just spiraling, guys. I'm spiraling.
It's okay. We were talking about the pilgrimage, I guess, right? That's where we're about.
We
to
sure
get
were.
to.
We're talking about why book 5 for Zeth. Is it too late? How his brain works, if it's an interesting story. He's just looking for answers the whole time. Part of me is like, life experience provides a lot of answers, and I feel like he's doing more and more, but he just needs to follow someone. So my train of thought, and I would love to have this conversation with people who don't feel the same way about me. Sometimes I feel there are people who look to, ooh, this could ruffle feathers, religion, to seek something bigger and greater than they feel that they are, for guidance or for instructions or for purpose or for understanding, right? Faith is help me, faith is see me, faith is guide me, all those sorts of things. So I drew a lot of parallels to Zeth and like a dependence on a religion, I guess. What's everyone else's thoughts? Haha. Because I mean, kids are
I
curious,
have some
right?
thoughts.
Why? So it's that, but it's like more than that because he's still doing it. Sorry, Jimmy, what were you saying?
I was just going to say I have some thoughts on that if you'd like me to share them.
Yeah, let's go.
So, in terms of my upbringing, there was a certain way of following things. And when I got out of said upbringing, I was like, okay, now I have to learn my way of doing things, because
You
like
had to question
the
everything
characters
then,
that.
right?
What's that? I'm sorry?
You had to question everything then, right?
Of course, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
And so, like, I would always be like, okay, this is one part of the story. What's the other part so I can get a full understanding of the story? And then I would move forward. Like, example, like when I do comedy, right? I'll find out that certain jokes work and other jokes don't work.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason being is because the crowd is split in terms of their beliefs or whatever it may be. But I'm just focusing on the joke. I'm trying to get the joke out there, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's the same thing with life. As long as you find structure, however you find it, it works for you as a person or whatever. Like, I've never like leaned on any specific background, and I always found it amusing that when people put all their eggs in one basket in terms of something that gives them direction, it feels kind of like half-assed. But that's just my opinion.
No, I get what you're saying. Like, curiosity is the cure for ignorance or sort of like blindsidedness or a very one-dimensional way of thinking. So it's like, a lot of people going back to sort of religion as a example. A lot of people are kind of raised in a church setting, and it's like, great, cool, this is what it is, and then the big bad world comes at them hard and fast, whether it's through school or adulthood, and it contradicts what they've learned, and then it's like, wait, which one is it? And then they can go on very, very different paths, or they can double down, or they can ask questions, or they can never question anything. So you're right, like, this is a big part of life. And I like that you used your comedy as a example for that, because it's a trial and error. You don't know until you do, right? And so the doing, I think, is the brave part. It's curious, it's learning. So yeah, I think that's a really good analogy. Alicia says, I definitely took this to be blind religious faith and a metaphor for maybe how Sanderson was raised in LDS. LDS?
The Church of Latter-day Saints, the Mormon Church.
Thank you. That's how not religious I was raised. I don't even know the acronyms. Okay. Necrophoenix brings up a question saying, has anyone who is a physical book reader noticed the changes in the chapter headings throughout the book? You want to drop that, T? It's an American church thing. Okay, thank you for giving me an out for that one as well. So yeah, so that, Alicia, you took it kind of exactly how I took it as well. There is a sense of like religion forming structure, guidance, but like an understanding of what to do and what not to do. And so when that can get challenged, you're like, wait, what is the right thing? What is good? And I've just spent a lot of time thinking about the difference between logic and intuition in this book, and how if you are 100% logic and analytical and need things to be spelled out in a particular way, or need sort of like rigidity and structure. Whereas I was like, what is the opposite of that? And I feel like intuition is just like having an innate understanding. It's recognition. It's, being okay to go with the flow. It's spontaneity. It's reading unspoken things. So that was like, my brain would often go into that thought. Yeah. Academic?
So I must confess I haven't gotten through all the way through day 7 yet, but I do remember reading this book the first time and feeling frustrated with Kaladin's discussions with Nail for the longest time, because
Nail's
like
shit.
Nail,
Nail's the kind of person that I would talk to a party and avoid the rest of the time. Because he's the
Mhm.
kind of person who'd be like, this beer is a little warm, and actually I don't like the brewery that it was in because they don't filter their hops 3 times. Some shit that I don't care about, that he's making everyone's problem and judging everyone for drinking that beer. And I'm like, Nail, you're a fucking party pooper. Get out of here. Sorry.
he embodies like the religious fundy pastor archetype.
Oh.
in the like that's kind of how I sort of see him. But I grew frustrated because I don't feel like Kaladin was really doing a good job giving a good defense for the opposite side, for as a counter towards Nail's argument. As frustrating and as bad as Nail's arguments were, like Cal wasn't equipped to do the other side. So I'm really curious to see how this resolves. I say I'm curious to see how it resolves as someone who has already read the book, but I'm curious to see how you all think that it resolves. So to see like what Sanderson is sort of conclusion is to like hard questions that like have really hard answers, and they can be viewed from multiple perspectives.
Yeah. We got the answer from Necrophoenix saying, throughout the book, the headings, which have virtually been the same since book 1, are degrading. What do you mean by that? I'm obviously an audiobook listener, so I need clear examples. It's very subtle at the start, but it's becoming more noticeable. Degrading? How? Alicia says it's also the difference between internal and external spirituality. External being that the rituals and disciplines, and then internal being more meditation and self-reflection. I feel like it's quite obvious where I stand in that. I'm heavy on the meditation and self-reflection side of things. What is discipline? I ate a whole pizza yesterday. Like, we've been over this. If I'm going to eat a fucking pizza, I'm going to eat the whole thing in one sitting. And if you want to know which one I can eat and feel good about it after, I'll let you know in the show chat. There is,
Pineapple.
well, that's the ingredient, but it's who makes the pizza and what the type of pizza is, which is just like hangover cure. Academic says, hold on, wait. KB Dub says, yeah, but Cal admits that in his inner thoughts, he wished that someone like Yasna or Shalan was there to debate instead. Yeah, because he's just not equipped with it, right? Darren says the stone way, and that the arch is the stone archway. Come on, Maude. The stone archway is crumbling. That's cool. That's cool. Avery then says, yeah, at the top of each chapter, there's a stone arch, and each section, more cracks are appearing. Oh, that's fun. Get that. Academic then says, I think the book does a good job of having both of those people go through similar struggles for Sanderson to weigh in how they would fare in a similar setting. And Vaden said, yeah, I completely agree. I understand why Kaladin doesn't have a good response to Nail. Nail's been around for a long time and clearly thought about his system of ethics for much longer than Kaladin. I'll say Kaladin's learning a lot really, really quickly. And as soon as he thinks he's got a bit of leeway, more comes at him. And he's like, whoa, what do you mean that there's like more depth to this, more nuance to this, more to go? I got the slap bang. I can relate to people that have the same sort of PTSD than I do. I can talk to people who have gone through the war and been a soldier. That is the lane that I have dominated. What do you mean someone's sense of freedom is to end it all? He's just like, cannot compute. And that was a really kind of like full on moment with Zeth, where he was like, oh, thank you for giving me freedom. Thank you for allowing me to make choice. My choice will be to end it. And Kaladin's like, whoa, 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 no, that's not what I meant. Oh my God, I'm making it worse. And you're just like, yeah. All right. So because some people haven't finished day 7, I am going to go through this chronologically and stick into the day by days. Just a recap as well. At the end of day 3, Maya left Adolin mid-siege to cross into the Shadesmar to shame the Honestbren into joining the war instead of being Switzerland. So Adolin has been defending Azamir without a shard blade. Fuck, I love Adolin. Oh, I love him. Guys, Adolin is just... he's just great. He needs to be king. Ugh. Wake up, sunshine.
He's a little bit more intelligent than a golden retriever with the brain of a baked potato. Just slightly more.
When they're unsuspecting, it's even better. He's great. All right, so let's get into day 4. Let's go through these day by day summaries.
Do it.
I will. Day 4 means that there's 6 days left. Dalinar and Navani. I love these power couples. I love how she supports him. I love that she's like anchoring him. But Dalinar is definitely going back to his same ways. This guy is a bulldozer. And when he has an agenda and he has a goal, he has his blinders on to reach said goal. Now, I understand that there's a deadline at play and that there is a seemingly achievable solution that's still difficult, but there ain't nothing else on that table. With the time limit, he's charging. But holy shit, he's bullying. He is... Don't tell me what I can't do. Don't tell me anything that's going to get in the way. I've made up my mind. This is what's happening. You cannot persuade me. You cannot dissuade me. You are with me or you're against me. And you're just like, Dalinar, what happened to like your progress, my dude? It feels like you're regressing a little bit back to that Blackthorn way somewhat. What do you mean you're just going to be like, well, I've just got to be a god. Soz, that's what's happening here. So I'm just going to have to become immortal. You're not allowed to freak out because I think my intentions are good and don't question any of that. I haven't really thought about this all that much, but I don't want to hear about it. I'm just thinking short-term solution, which is, I think, a very big theme in a lot of epic fantasy. How do I get through this moment? What do I have to sacrifice? It doesn't matter about long-term. We just need to get through today. KP.
I don't think Dalinar's motivation is to be immortal or a god or anything like that.
It's to
I
get
just
through the
think,
day.
I think it's more than anything, it's his belief that like he's the only one that can do certain things. Nobody else out there, whether it's his ego or whether it's
But
lack
he
of
also
confidence or
thought he was the
whatever.
only one who could be a bondsmith. And Navani's
Right,
like, hold my stem kit. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Like,
But that's his thought process is like, I'm the only one that can do this and I can't do it as is. I need to be the god because that's the only way.
that's the thing. And that's why you're kind of on his side, because his intentions are never bad, right? He is really trying to do what's
That's his
best.
thought.
I am just noticing a little bit more this time round, though. He's bulldozing.
Do you think he wouldn't give it up to Navani or someone else that's
He's not
with him
even
though?
having that conversation.
Yeah, but I think that if he was presented with information that would say Navani is the better person to hold the power of Ten of
He would
Est.
do it. Yeah, it
He
does
would
not
do it.
have to be him. And he almost sees it as a bit of a burden. Like there was that beautiful moment in part 1 where he's like, I'll go into Shadesmar, I'll bear this. And then Navani's like, you literally need me. And he's like, yes, I do. God damn it. You're coming too, I suppose, as well. I'm trying to protect you, but yes, that's what needs to happen. So yeah, I just think he's got his blinders on a little bit, and he's not. I mean, does he have, this is the thing. Does he have a council? Does he have time to conduct council? Right? He
He
does?
does. He does, yeah. In fact, that's part of the reason why he was so upset is because everybody was like, you made this decision to battle with Odium, even though we elected you to make this decision. We said you're going to be the person to speak for us, but you didn't make the perfect decision, and now we're all upset. And he's like, well, how do I fix this? My council's not all up. So, like, he's
Yeah.
going through it, like, with everybody else for the first time.
Yeah.
I just feel like this is the least interesting thing about Dalinar. I think the more interesting thing is that like he is on that growth journey.
Yes.
Like he is
He's still a
1000%
shit
like
dad though.
he's horrible. He's horrible, but he wants to be better. This is, and so like at what point do you give someone grace who is actively and earnestly trying to make an effort at becoming a better person? And I think that's what Dalinar's story is. And that's a hard question.
Avery with the T. I would read it out, but I want you to say what you wrote in the chat there.
Yeah, I was saying that his past, his experiences both with his alcoholism and then like the thrill, those two things have given him control issues. So like, in both of those situations, he was essentially giving up his sense of self to something else. And he didn't know how to escape it. So now that he's regained control of himself, he feels like he has to retain that control at all costs. And that includes not giving up these decisions to other people. He has to make the decision. He has to carry it out. He has to make sure everything goes right because he's just had so many experiences with not being in control that's like what he needs.
What's going to the night? Guys, help me. Night Angel, Night Blade, Night Quest, Night.
Night
Night
Watcher.
Watcher?
Watcher. Thank you. What does it mean where he goes to a Night Watcher to literally pensieve out every single memory of his wife? Is that a sense of control? Is that trying to control a situation so he doesn't have to think about his past? Is that, what do we call that? Academic, you unmuted.
I think he's just, once again, that's him giving up control, but also like he was still bereft. At the same time, like that he didn't end up at the Night Watcher.
Is it giving up control or is it seeking control?
Both, and
you remove the memory, it can't unravel you. It doesn't pop up in your thoughts. You control not thinking, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot of alcoholism. Alcoholism a lot of the time is, what are you suppressing? What are you trying not to think about? What are you trying not to feel?
But what did cultivation do? It wasn't, first of all, Dalinar didn't get to the Night Watcher. He sought the Night Watcher, but ended up with cultivation instead. And she did something.
This is why everyone needs an academic, by the way.
She did one thing better. Yes, she erased the memories, but then she also gave him back the memories. So like that is where the Night Watcher sort of helped him. Not the Night Watcher. The cultivation gave him the ability to like take responsibility for his actions by confronting him with the things that he's done that he wanted to give up, right? So I say it's a yes and situation. He was giving up control, but he also gained control through it.
Thank you. The comments are amazing. Night Angel is a different book. Nightblood is the sword. God, I went through absolutely everything until it was the Night Watcher, and then it still wasn't even that. Well done. Vaden.
Just to talk about the control issues. So he does have control issues, and a big part of one of the earlier books, I can't remember which one exactly, but basically, Odin was trying to take him as a champion essentially, and he was trying to do so by letting him fall into his old misdeeds from the past, where he kept keeping him control. He said he went to the alcohol, so he went to other stuff, and I watched her so he could forget things, so he can give up his pain. But then he eventually, he went through that character arc, and he said, okay, I can't have this pain anymore. I have to take responsibility. And that's when he finally started improving as a person, is saying, oh, now I have to be a better father. I need to be, a good, better person. I need to stop being a black thorn. I need to, that showed his conviction right there that he was on the right path to actually becoming a good person.
Mm. And you added in the comments as well, to be fair, Dalinar is spending a lot of time trying to save the world. However, if he does lose himself to odium, when will he ever make up for being a bad father to his kids? There was one line in there from Renarin, and guys, it was like a spear through the heart. He said, Adolin couldn't even be good enough for my father. How the hell was I supposed to be? And you're just like, damn, like this lack of acceptance from not only Renarin, but like also Adolin. Like Adolin's, he'd be struggling. Darian.
Yeah, just to build on the issue of control. One thing is, I don't think Dalana actively realizes it, but he must know it subconsciously that he was being used as a pawn by his own brother. Like we saw that in the prologue where Gavala was just, shuffling him around like I need to use the Blackthorn here. But
Yeah.
and Dalana was just like either a drunk or a full-on barbarian.
Or a weapon,
so
yeah.
he didn't even realize he had no control of even what he was doing. But it must be on a subconscious level. He must know. So I mean that adds to that. And I mean it's clear he has like this kind of messiah/savior complex right now. And I mean that kind of comes from like a response to the control. I don't know if he ever was like sober as a Blackthorn or wasn't a Blackthorn, if that would have been the case, or if that's just a direct response to
The
his
thrill
past self.
as well.
I mean, just like, yeah, could be. I mean,
I thought it was
so-
shame. I thought he was in a massive shame spiral, having done what he'd done, and like feeling like the only worth that he has is kind of like leaning into the thrill on the battlefield, and they're just not having like a sense of identity outside of it. KP makes some really great points in the chat. It's almost like there's this overarching theme across dozens of characters that they want to get rid of or forget or not feel their pain. Dalinar forgets to stop the pain. Dalinar drinks to stop the pain. Ishar takes a little bit of all the heralds' pain. Odium takes Moash's pain. And lack of pain begets lack of pain, begets lack of pain, begets, or like fear of pain or not facing pain. That's a really, really great point. There is a lot of this, and I think that's why this series has turned into fantasy therapy, really, because everyone's now facing the pain that they've been running away from, suppressing. It's all kind of coming to a head. All signs point to face, yes, shit. Avery is saying, could this be related to odium forming from passion? What do you mean by that, Avery? Are you typing it? Maybe she didn't hear me. Avery, you made a really good point to KP Dubs saying, with almost what KP was saying, it's almost like there's an overarching theme of dozens of characters that they want to just get rid of or forget or not feel their pain. And you said, could this be related to odium forming from passion? I'd like to learn more about that.
Well, KP followed up and said that that there was a mention that odium was never passion, that was somebody else. So I may have misunderstood that line, but I know in one of the history things that they're in the spiritual realm, they learn that they say like that the human's god was passion, but then at some point they were like that, and then at some point it's odium, and there's like some kind of a transition there, but I don't know if it was a transition in the sense that he became that, or if it was a transition where it was a different shard. I don't know. I haven't read the other books.
Academics tapping in for that one.
So not a different shard, same shard. It was a misunderstanding for what the humans thought odium was. So you're both right. That it was never passion. He was always odium, is what the line was in that flashback. And so, side note, Oathbringer is when we find out from the Thalens that they have this side. They're recently converted Vorons, but their old gods were passion, which is actually odium. So that is why there is a charge against serving the passions in the Thalen culture.
KP Dub says that once Kaladin reaches the 5th ideal, he's going to become a full therapist, and Syl will become a shard couch. Nicely done. Academic, you were saying as well, with all of the examples of characters trying not to feel their pain, Shallan is an amazing example. Shallan went through this incredibly. She literally has personality. What is it called? What's the acronym for that again?
DID.
DID, dissociative identity disorder. Yeah, right. So literally splits the personality to take on different strengths in moments where it's like, you know what, Maude's not got this. I'm going to bring out Taylor Swift. Hi guys, welcome everyone. Here's my hit song. Man, if I had a Taylor in me, what could I not do? Fantastic. Her brother. Anyway, just the only thing. It's the only thing she can't. Anyway, KP says there was a mention that odium was never passion. Another avatar is actually passion. I could be remembering wrong. And then Necrophoenix says it was mentioned that odium was never just passion. There you go. All right, so we're kind of talking about Dalinar's journey through all this and how Navani is awesome. Love her. She's the best. I still love her growth in the last book and her Spren being the sibling, literally the tower. So cool. Anyway, they land in ancient Shinovar the day that humanity arrived on Rashar. There's refugees fleeing the world that they burned, which was Ashen. They were welcomed by the singers. The visions worked by possession, so they had to become different people along the journey. So Dalinar rides alongside inside a singer's body, which is exactly the perspective-shattering experience that he kind of needed. Their guide through all of this is actually the wind. So the wind is playing much more of a part and presence here. This is the same ancient presence that spoke to Kaladin on day one, older than all the shards, and now personally invested in what Dalinar learns. The Stormfather is sulking and refusing to help. Though Stormfather, my God, you want to have a couple of pages of two men that can't fucking communicate? It's Dalinar and the Stormfather. Dalinar's like, do what I say. Stormfather's like, I don't think I want to do any of it. In fact, I don't even think we're friends anymore. And you're just like, oh my God, talk it out. Please talk it out. Anyway, we're learning more and more about that. Navani, being brilliant and amazing, is learning about anchoring and bonding a visions, shalash, like ribbon, basically, like this golden string pulling things, tying things from the vision where they can anchor and move through different parts of the vision as well. While that's all happening, Shallan, Renarin, and R'lain shadow the Ghostbloods through the visions, staying hidden, so they're also disguised as well. Shallan makes an unsettling discovery about herself, that every time she moves to thwart Mraize, she's trying to kill her old mentor here, formless stirs. What's going on there? Avery was saying Navani is easily my favorite character of book 4. KP Dub says sibling has a towering intellect. Where's the sound effect? Ba-dum, boom. I keep hoping Dalinar ascends so that Navani can be single again, says KP. Shoot your shot, buddy. You get Navani, I'll have Adolin. Oh my God. Match made. Done.
Do it.
Avery says, as annoying as it is, it's a great way to keep us confused about where the Stormfather stands in all of this. I will say my least favorite trope is miscommunication. I can't stand it. As an over-communicator myself. Hey, I noticed we're in this scenario. I'd like to apologize, or I would like to say thank you, or I would like to think of every scenario, place you in it, and tell you how I would respond in all of them. Yes, academic. I am not a potential deity meets Spren. I get that.
Also, he was burned by communicating too much with Gavilar, right? Like and he already has a really innate distrust of the Colins because of that relationship, and so there is a little history there.
You're right. And Gavilar got real Messiah complex on that, being like, hold my beer, I'm gonna got it up. And he was like, I wouldn't do that, actually. Yeah, okay. Fair point. Love it. Anyway, we thought that Formless had been dealt with in the last book. Not true at all. It's been leashed, but somehow Mraize is bringing Formless out. Then we go to Zeth's worst night in years, camped near Coring. After claiming Calyx's blade from the second monastery, Zeth's ambushed, else called into Shadesmar by his own former master, Posen, wielding Batar's honor blade, with an edge dancer assassin carrying Videl's. Cut off from his weapons, Zeth hears a familiar, cheerfully apocalyptic voice calling to him. He retrieves Nightblood. Now, Nightblood, I don't get it. He's fun though, but like, what? Is this like the trope of Sunshine and what is that called? Katie, romance trope, Sunshine, Sookie, Sunshine, Stubborn, Sunshine, Sullen,
Grumpy and Sunshine.
Grumpy Sunshine. They're kind of Grumpy Sunshine. Zeth and Nightblood, when you think about it, which I have been. Anyway, they kill the assassin. Posen kills himself to strand Zeth in the Shadesmar. Zeth simply uses the captured blade's transformation surge to walk back out. So he's got 4 honor blades, and the student surpassed the monastery. Adolin, though, grinds through the dome siege, short one shard blade, long on charm. Love this man. His real day 4 victory is his new protege, the boy emperor Yanagon. He's convinced him to sneak out of the ceremony and actually have tactic lessons. What a dude. Love these moments. We also learn about May, which is his ex-girlfriend, who's also a badass in her own right. So now I still don't think it ever made sense that Adolin was struggling with women. He's so fucking decent. His ex-girlfriend's looking out for him. Trust me when I say ex-girlfriends only do that when they have been decent. If you have been shit, we bounce and we shut that door and we deadlock it. So it's telling of character. In Zeth's flashbacks, we know about Molly, the sheep, the death, his first kill, and a family pulled out of the pastures and into the monastery world, where the whispers of the voice were waiting. Now, thanks, Molly. This is a really beautiful moment where Kaladin's relationship with his father is a little bit, let's call it interesting, that we learnt in the last book. Zeth's father? Fucking A+, what a ledge. Are you kidding me? Oh, you're exiling my son? I'm going with him. No, we're going with him. I will not abandon him. Wherever he's going, I'm going too. I love that relationship. Mum, however, woo, she was ready to walk and ended up walking. So that's like a really interesting juxtaposition. The sister kind of feels a bit neglected in all of this. Didn't even know Zeth had a sister half the time. That's how much she doesn't matter, really. She always feels like she's in his shadow. She feels like she's not daddy's little girl. She ain't even really mama's little girl. She's just kind of feels like she's not in the family. Mum, this is what I took from it. Academic, you're about to be like, I did not get that. No? There was some, it's not perfect in that family, but I will say his dad standing by him through it all. Like, so precious. Still watching him, still making sure that, yes, Academic.
This is less about academic knowledge. I actually don't like Zeth's father. I feel so there. First of all, we are introduced to him by him forcing a choice on a child for them to like not, well, look, you found the rock. We don't want to move our house, but you're the one who found it, so we'll do whatever you want us to do. And Zeth's smart enough as however old he is at that time to be like, well, they don't want to move, and I can see that they don't want. So like, there's a
I'm
lot of
being manipulated. Yeah.
but he can't understand. He has no wherewithal to. So like, there's that. That's how we're introduced to him as a father, and I feel like he's trying to make up for a lot of the stunted growth that he's forced Zeth into. He's the sort of present yet absent father that like I feel like is a really
Is he a
easy
show
like
mum? Is
a
that
sh-
yep. Is
kind
he riding Zeth's coattails to have more of a substantial life, knowing that he's a golden child, and so he's putting all of his eggs in Zeth's basket?
No, I think it's like he's another reflection of he's a warped reflection of Dalinar, where he feels guilty and is trying to absolve the guilt as opposed to trying to actually earnestly help his child. So like he's trying to absolve the guilt for him instead of like trying to make the world around him better.
Okay. Necrophoenix says Zeth's father is infantilizing him. Also, Burasaico, Seiko, thank you. Burasaico, thank you so much for following 2 minutes ago. I appreciate it. We are talking about Wind and Truth here. We're going full spoilers for part 2, which is day 4 to day 7. We are going through this over the next, well, we've got 55 more minutes on this topic. We are really getting through it. We're going through all the days. We're still only on 4, so we might have to just get through it. But we are going, we're going on tangents and getting through some good stuff here. The interludes. We got Moash. Moash is back. How do we feel about that? Someone better say it. Better unmute and say it.
Oh, Ash.
Thank you. There it is. Oh my God, look, Avery, a little thumbs down just showed up in your thing. That's fun. Come on, get in there. Nothing. Yeah, camera hates me. That's fine. Agonomic says you're totally correct that Zeth's sister Ellard is completely neglected. I feel so bad for her. Yeah. It's interesting, like, dynamics, because usually the youngest child gets away with anything, and it's like you don't have the helicopter parenting of like the first kid where you're just figuring it all out and you kind of get to run amok a little bit, and like the oldest child resents the youngest for like not having that same strictness that they had to go through. But no, she's just completely neglected. Zeth's the youngest child. She's older? Oh, okay, then that makes sense. But I actually just made my point for me. For some reason, she's like so not there that I thought she was younger. Nah, okay, damn. Got it. All right, well, that's my thesis. Did you notice who Moash is similar to now? Oh, Necrophoenix, you better tell me. Who is Moash like now? Who is Moash like now? He's determined. He has an agenda. Well, I mean, he's got spikes in his eyes, so he's like the Inquisitors from Mistborn. Do we talk about that? Moash and Marsh. It's right. Is Moash Marsh? No, but like, is Moash Marsh?
Nah.
Is there any way he could be? If centuries go by, like, no, I'm getting a big veto. I'm getting absolutely not. But what if? What if his OG Inquisitor that like learns to hop? What if
Well,
he
but
was
then
Marsh?
but that happened to him twice then, because he already happened to him before, so he wouldn't get to happen again. Yes.
How would he get the spikes out of his eyes? He didn't start with spikes in his eyes.
I much prefer the theory that he is. That would have been sick. Anyway, that's the face I would have made if it was true. Just so you guys know. You caught it in real time. We've never seen them in the same room, though. Thank you, Toaster Poster. We haven't. Never seen them in the same room, just saying. Okay, so Moash and Marsh, yes. Got it. The different types of spikes. Yeah, but they could have changed. He could have upgraded his spikes. This is OG spikeage. We haven't even seen them on the same planet. Yeah, you're making a great point, KP. But like, there's wits, hoids, dipping and dopping. We just don't.
Vasher, another planet, right? Too. So
Vivenna, who is the captain from Oathbringer that Kaladin fell in line with.
What?
It's a Warbreaker thing. Vivenna is Vasher's companion from Warbreaker, but there
Haven't
was
read
a captain in Alethkar, the major city that we discover if you read Warbreaker, that is
I haven't.
one of the main characters. Don't worry about it.
Okay, but still, pretend I haven't. I bet. Amazing. Anyway, so what happened with Moash's interlude chapter? Odium visits the man who murdered Teft, and we collectively went fuck Moash as we were reading the pages. He's been blind since Renarin's light seared his eyes and gives him a gift. Crystalline spikes driven through his eyes that let him see Spren and investiture itself. Via is back in play? Via? It's so weird hearing it and then reading it. I'm like, what is that word that I've only heard? Via's back in play, upgraded and pointed somewhere. And then interlude number 8 is Taravangian Odium walks Cabranth, the city of his heart, among the family and people that he sold his soul to protect, and concludes that war, conquest, order imposed by force is the only way to keep them safe. The title is doing a lot of ominous work. All right, we move into day 5. Day 5. We learn that heralds are born, and so's a romance. Guys, I listened to this chapter walking around my neighborhood with my dog this morning. I had the biggest smile on my face. I loved some of the moments of this book. It's the only time I went to Fable. I saw that KP, you'd written like 6 things in there, and then just in all caps, I wrote, I am giddy. Alicia, you wrote something in there as well, which I'd love to talk about. But let's go through what happened on day 5. The founding of the Heralds, which actually happened on page. Gavina recovered and vision anchors in hand, tidied up a little bit. Dalinar and Navani witnessed the deep past, the early Singer migrations, and humanity breaking its welcome, and the 43-year war that ended with Honor choosing humanity over the Singers who had taken them in. Where the fuck is the honor in that? Then we got the big one. Jezrien gathering 10 volunteers, 5 women and 5 men. Now, they have to be volunteers. Does anyone else, the way that this is happening, the way that Dalinar and Navani have to kind of like be in someone's body during it, and I think I mentioned this last time, I have a recurring nightmare where the play has started, the curtain is up, I am on stage, and an actor on the stage delivers their line of dialogue to me. And the lights are on, everyone's in the audience, you hear it, and the actor's doing the eyes thing like, it's your turn. And I'm like, I got no idea what the fuck you're talking about. I don't know what play we're in. I don't know my line. I don't know what's happening. And this is a recurring nightmare that I have. And this is exactly what Dalinar and Navani have. They're going through a memory in time, and they are becoming people. And this has already happened. They weren't there. They're trying to learn about it for the first time. That's literally what Renarin experiences every day. Nightmare. I don't know what is happening. What can someone please fill me in? Guy says, oh God, not the cough in the audience during the silence. Honestly, that's the nightmare. Is your throat really tickling right now? Or, like, oh God, hell. Academic saying it's, whose line is it anyway? Yeah, and it's just not knowing what's going down and not wanting to rock the boat and not wanting to disrupt the memory so that you kind of get a play of what's happening. Blah. You just start saying the lines from The Princess Bride. Why? So Odium can be like, the fuck is that? And I'll be like, hey, you got me. I lasted 3 seconds. You found me. So anyway, that's all going on. Jezrien gathers the volunteers, grants immortality through Verdel's abilities, and then bound by Ishar's bondsmithing into the Oath Pact. So the heralds are invented before our eyes. And Dalinar is in this moment wearing Kalak's face inside the vision, and then bonds Kalak's honor blade to steer them onward. Sure. He got kind of like excited about that. He's like, I'm saying an oath in this memory, but I'm going to actually live this oath. And you're just like, it's not you, dude. You're good. You're doing too much. Come on, Dalinar. Like, yeah, life's fine. Day 5 is also all about disguises, where you've got Shallan, who is disguised as the Herald Ash, who hunts Mraize, who's disguised as Honor. Did not see that one coming. I was like, my dude, you got to be anyone and you chose to be Honor? Really? Renarin is disguised as Videl and hides from his own parents. Shallan is in a bit of a skirmish and wins by wounding Mraize and extracting the season's biggest strategic intel. This is the nugget of information we all need. Odium is afraid of Mishram. Mishram's in a prison. Why is Mishram in a prison? Odium knows where Mishram is. This is not a breakout. This is a keep in situation. And then, of course, Formless surfaces mid-victory, taunts her, and then Mraize gets to limp away. We have the First Blood at Narak as well. Sigil's 4-fortress defense of the Shattered Plains meets the enemy and wins. Sigil, God damn it. Moash, Marsh, Sigil, Sigil. Like.
And then Mraize.
Rolaine, Renarin. Don't even start me on Gavinar, Galavor, Adolin, Elikar. Like, I didn't stand a chance through any of those. I feel like I've gotten a bit better about it all, but Sigil is doing great as captain, having a lot of self-doubt and imposter syndrome. Like, everyone's got something that they're working on in this book, and Sigs is just hoping to do Kaladin justice here, and it's reinforced by people saying you're doing a good job. By the way, if you see someone doing a good job, tell them. It feels real good. We all need to hear it. We all just need to know, good job, God stop.
Good job, Maude.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Feels good. Oh my gosh, I'm training you guys so well. Good job, and they're there. Avery says, look, at least they look different on the page, even though they all sound the same. I'm only listening to the books, Avery. I don't stand a chance here. I'm not seeing the words. I learn by seeing, right? My brain will spell out. Oh my gosh, you actually used good job for Kenobi's soundbite. Amazing. Billy Sunrider's like, you know what? They should all have names like Bob and Tom to make it. Bob and Tom, they still share the same singular vowel in the middle. And then monosyllabic. Like, really? You had any chance to make a point, Billy? Billy also said, go Maude. Thank you. Appreciate it. So anyway, what's going on over here? Sigil actually downs a new fused and a thunderclast. Now, who else likes the fact that there's imagery in this book? Or if you're listening to it, there is a PDF so you can remember what the hell a thunderclast is. Great name as well. Thunderclast. KP says their names are Robert, Rob, Bob, Robbie, and Bobby. I mean, I was actually thinking about this. I'm like, these are fantasy names, but like, there is a Larry and a Harry like we have them. They exist. Should you do it though? Do you want to make it a little easier for us? That's your prerogative, my dude. Anyway, the Thunderclast that I showed you, his scouts find the bad news though, that the retreat was a cover for an Elsecaller portal funneling in reinforcements. Shit. They also find out that an Unmade and Moash is inbound. Now, I'm like, is this going to ruin them or is this going to make them go freaking Super Saiyan in their rage? They're thoughts that I have. We also have Venli and the listeners. I'm going to be real honest, guys. Venli chapters I tune out the most. Can anyone share where you sit with the chapters? Which ones are your favorites now that we're in part 2 and which ones are your least favorite? I'm so sorry, Venli. Esh and I was the most interesting part about you and I will always die on that hill. They're trying to, he's trying to make Venli work. Anyway, Leshwi has defected her heavenly ones, and her defected heavenly ones, lost their powers entirely. That's the price for betraying Odium. The Chasm Fiends have begun bonding with the listeners, though. This was kind of cute. Though. The Chasm Fiends actually singing and having storytelling through generations and learning about the Chasm Fiends and then seeing what that's like when sort of the colonizers come in and just kill them for the sake of it. Like, I actually did find that somewhat interesting. So yeah, the Chasm Fiends have begun bonding with the listeners when the high storm comes, and Venli will shapes her way into contact with the stone itself. So now we've got the wind, we got the stones, and we got there's another one. We got the wind, we got the stones, we got there's a third one. What's the third one? There's a third one? Is there a third one? Maybe we'll find out.
Is truth one? Right?
It is for Zeth. San Villano. So we found out, obviously, that Honor turned against the singers long ago, and the answers that Venli is looking for are buried beneath Narak. Azamir gets reinforcements. Maya's Shadesmar guilt trip actually works. Nodum rocks up. Remember Nodum? He was from book 3. Huge role in book 3. They go into Shadesmar. He was exiled. Now he's got purpose. And I like Nodum and Maya's kind of like friendship. I feel like they respect each other. He arrives with the Honest Friend volunteers. Now I was hoping for either an Eagles or a Gandalf the Silver moment. But I'll take Nodum. That's okay. I'll take Nodum. You're doing great, Nodum. Good job. Everyone needs to hear it. So basically, yeah, Adolin playing the long game, not because he's strategic, just because he's decent, of treating Spren really, really well. It's coming back into fruition big time. We go back to Shinovar. Kaladin and Zeth find the town by the Elsecaller Monastery deserted. Kaladin realizes that this ghost town was actually Zeth's childhood home. A tall, humorless figure falls into step beside them. It's Nail. Fuck off, Nail. Nail is when is Nail getting nailed? Either through the eyes or physically, because he'll be probably a bit more chill if he gets nailed. Yes? Someone unmuted. Go on, save me from this moment.
No, I was gonna make the same joke you just made, but it's all right. You've done it already.
Jokes. She's got him.
You hit the nail on the head with that one, Maude.
There it is. Where's my boom tish? Thank you. God, that only took 5 seconds. It actually doesn't feel funny if it's a 5-second, but just, it's... So anyway, now we've got this road trip of a war criminal, a depressed assassin, a therapist, a fairy, and a sword that wants to know if it can destroy evil. I just sometimes feel like the moments with Zeth and Kaladin repeat on itself a bit. Am I alone, or is it feeling fresh and fun for you guys? I just feel like sometimes there's having the same conversation, or it's a new conversation, but they go over the last half of the last conversation to provide half of a new conversation. And then when they bring it up again, they rehash that last bit of that conversation to kind of propel it into a new conversation. I just kind of feel like, Sander, you said it already. I got it. I'm picking up what you're putting down, like candy trying to lure me somewhere. Like, I'm eating good. We're okay. Academic.
I think the conversations are pretty fluid. I don't think they do a lot of retreading the same ground. What I do find a little weird is that we have two point of view characters. Like they have their own separate chapters, even though they're like right next to each other all the time.
Maybe that's where I'm getting it. Maybe that's how I feel it. Because that happens at the end of book 7, where it's like something happens from Dalinar's point of view, and then there's overlap with it coming through, I think in Renarin's point of view, whatever, but there's like overlap there. So you literally hear the same dialogue twice. Phantom Aria says it is repeating a bit. They have to fill the road trip between all the monasteries. You know what? Yeah. Ooh, Gaia calling me out. Maude wanted men to communicate and then has an issue with their communication. Ooh, facts. Facts. Are you talking not enough or are you talking too much? Where's my sweet spot? No, that's a really good point. That's a really good point.
Inconceivable!
KP Dubs was saying before, when Adolin picks up the fallen Shardbearer's blade, he's something like, "Hey, I'm Adolin. I'm going to use you for a bit. Hope that's okay." He's a sweet boy. Protect him at all cost. I love him. All right, so what are the interludes for 9 and 10? We've got Zael. The Ghost Buds bag themselves a legend. It is Zael, a.k.a. Vasha, the Warbreaker himself, as Academic has confirmed for us all. He's ambushed and taken captive, and the operation features a new rhythm, or a name, that Rhythm of War Deep Laura's will shriek at. Not me, though. Axindweth. What? This is a... Do you want to know? It's one of the world hoppers. Basically the person who gave Venli the Stormform Spren and then lit the fuse of the entire Everstorm. She's a ghost blood. Surprise. That's what we learned from that one. And then the moment of decision, this is Taravangi and Odium, aka Todium. The civil war of selves ends. He stops fighting the shard's nature, settles into his conquest logic, reshapes himself into a form that echoes race, and cultivation, who gambled everything on her chosen vessel being better, walks away in disappointment. I still don't get cultivation. It could be spelled out crystal clear with men talking about it 3 ways from Sunday, and I still don't understand cultivation. So if anyone's got cultivation clues for me.
What do you mean?
I just don't get it.
What, the god?
Is cultivation trying to work with Odium? Is cultivation on their own agenda? What's cultivation's goal? Does she like Odium? Why doesn't she just fucking kill Odium?
Because she's another shard. I don't think the shards really do a good job. Odium's the only shard that has killed another shard. I'm pretty sure. So the cultivation, the way that her nature is, like it's the power working through her. Like they don't really have as much of a desire as like a bent based off of their power. So she operates through long-term plans, and part of her long-term plan was giving Taravangian the ability to have the experience of Odium, have vast emotion and vast intelligence, and then try and put them in, and hopefully that would cultivate, that would be the culminate, I should say, into like a person who is ready to take up the shard, which Ray's wasn't really initially, because they were all random people and they didn't have that experience before. And then I think we're seeing another play on the other side of Dalinar, like and because we see that in that conversation, Odium has an inflection point where he says that there are 2 people in the world that could make me decide to do this the other way, which is Dalinar and Yasna, and Dalinar is only who he is because of cultivation's ministrations. Like, one, make him a worthy and honorable individual, right? By taking responsibility and becoming earnest in that responsibility taking. And then Odium still says no. But like, maybe that's not all of cultivation's plan. You sort of have to see everything.
I would also argue that Navani is the person that makes him who he is Currently, today's version of him.
No, right? Kind of.
Navani?
Well,
I think he got a very
didn't talk to
positive
her.
impact on Dalinar.
He didn't talk to her till she came to the Shattered Plains in book 1, right? Like, there had been at least 7 years where they weren't talking.
No, but today, the current version. But she's known him the whole time. She's known him. Billy Sunrider says she's got her own agenda, but I think was looking out for them. There's a truth between the shards that they won't go after each other with Odium Baruch. And Berkey weighing in on the conversation, saying, you can talk a lot and not say anything. I wonder if there's any comparison there. Got it. Moving on to day 6. Let's go. There's 4 days left. When the Honor Blade anchor slips away, Dalinar tumbles into the vision that he never wanted, and it's the last desolation. The truth is that Honor has already abandoned humanity. Now, this is where it gets murky for me, I will say. Day 6 sometimes gets a little... And day 7, I'll be honest. I'm like, what's going on? Alicia says, I thought they always had to be Trinity, Honor, Cultivation, and Odium. She's trying to replace the other two with new humans, Todium and Dalinar, to take Honor's place. Oh, she's just restructuring. There's just an internal leadership shuffle. Oh my God. Cultivation being like upper middle management is really helpful for my brain. Okay. There was an opening in HR. Yeah, that actually makes more sense to me. But is any of this it? No. Okay. Academics doing a little, I don't think that's it. All right, yeah. Honor already abandoned humanity, and when the heralds, broken beyond endurance, abandoned town and the Oath Pact while their god stayed silent. Now, Navani and Gavinor arrived just in time to watch 9 immortals walk away, needing a faster anchor with 4 days left. Dalinar decides to bond the Stormfather himself. Stormfather's like, no, I don't. You've seen it all now. What else do you want from me? Dalinar's like, I can find something else to take, actually. And this is over the Stormfather's furious threats to sever their bond. And the visions then leap forward to Urithiru in the days before the Recreants. The Lightweaver Monastery is a hostage puzzle. I liked this part. I thought this was really interesting. Zeth is doing different monastery challenges, and this one is illusionary. So gives a clue saying there is 30, was it 30? 29. There's 29, or there's something like on only 28 don't want to hurt you. There's all these little clues in there, but basically he's got one shot, one opportunity to find where the real what catch. Oi. My favorite part is he turns to his brother and is like, watch this. look what's going on here. Catch just gifted, why 28? Did you slip? Did you decide to round up?
28 puts me at an even 1,700.
Oh my God. Catch. Cutting you off. And that's where you'll stay forever.
You cannot cut me off. That's how this works. That's not how this works.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Catch, stop it. Stop it. Oh my gosh. If you just got a gifted sub, it's because of Catch, because of course it is. That's so many. That's so many. La Sombra Dark immediately says thanks for the gifted sub. Sweet Jen said thanks for the sub. Very, very sweet, everyone. Sky does well, says thanks for the gifted sub. So does Carlos. Carlos, I feel like you've had a couple over the times, which is wonderful. There's 28 of them. Vanessa, you just got gifted a sub. Oh, there you go. You just said thanks. That's awesome. I'm like reading all the names and recognizing some of them. How fun.
Reward?
Despicable Maude? Maude, you just got a gifted sub thanks to Catch. And that was the first time I didn't be like, who the hell is Despicable? I know now. It's Maude. Maybe I'm wrong, says Vaden. I thought Honor was revealed to be the Almighty. The Stormfather. No, I thought the Stormfather was Honor.
Okay, Stormfather, yeah. Sorry. I thought he was lying at him and telling him, "Oh yeah, you can't find Honor anywhere." Blah blah. You stop talking, trying to find him. I thought it was because he was him.
No,
But
yeah. He's never left. He's been me all along. I'm so confused at this stage. I don't even know.
Okay. Huh. I thought I remember saying that.
Yeah, he is the Almighty. It's just another name. That's how I interpreted it. So there you go. You're right.
Okay.
Yay. Sometimes this level of like subterfuge is just like, why are you trying to? There's so many characters and so much happening that you're trying to confuse me at this stage, Brando Sando. Academic, you don't understand why I'm confused? He's Honor. No, he's not. Is the Allfather? No, he died. Did he die? No.
I'm trying to catch up on the conversation. What? So hold on. I don't think the Stormfather is the Almighty. What? I'm confused with
Honor.
Honor.
I thought
Honor is the Almighty.
Basically, you're saying
But
he's gone.
Was the Almighty
no
the human's interpretation of God?
Yes, of the Voron god. Yeah. So yeah, Honor or Tanavast is the Almighty, who is Honor. Yes. Yes.
Ed the Albanian just gifted 5 subs as well. If you got one, make sure you say thank you. Thank you, Ed. That's very, very sweet of you. Does that mean we get a bit of a hype train? Oh, yeah, we do. Holy hell. And there's 35% off 5+ gifted subs. Hey, Catch, there you go. Hopefully you got 35% off. He's just like, I'm punching numbers. I ain't looking.
By saying that, you're just tempting me to gift more.
Oh, no, never mind then. It's fine. Everything is fine. How are you? Good. Great. Good. All right. So Honor has already abandoned humanity. The heralds have broken beyond endurance. Navani and Gavinor arrived just in time to watch the 9 Immortals walk away. Yes, needing a faster anchor with 4 days left, Dalinar bonds to the Stormfather himself. That's kind of where that tangent spurred from. Over the Stormfather's furious threats to sever their bond, the visions leap forward. Great. Then we talked about the really cool stuff that was happening at the Illusionary Monastery, which is like a really, really cool moment. Phil is a really big fan of helping out Zeth. They're kind of getting bondy and close as well. But hey, she comes in clutch, so I'm okay with that. And then apparently it's like, actually, you broke a rule because Kaladin actually stepped in to kill the Truth Watcher. Because again, Syl's like, psst, right there. They're about to attack him. And then Kaladin comes in and kills the Truth Watcher shaman to save Zeth. And Nail, being the fucking fun police that he is like, oh, you broke a rule. And Zeth's like, no rule were broken. Let's go over the terms. I already asked ahead of time what the terms were. This is not breaking anything. And Nail's like, okay, no harm, no foul. But Nail does drop a bomb, and that is that Odium has corrupted Jezreel's honor blade. So you won the blade, but it's been corrupted by Odium. We go back to Shallan, some of my favorite chapters, finds the ghost of the enemy. Deeper in the Recreance era vision, she locates an image of Mishram herself and realizes that the Unmade wasn't just Odium's general, she was sustaining the singers. Then Mishram's awareness brushes against her. Relaine and the enlightened Mistbren shield her. Mraize watches from the shadows, and something fast begins sweeping the spiritual realm like a lighthouse because Odium's looking for them now. Ba-dum-ba-dum. And then we go back to the front line where Sigzil loses Narak 1, falls back. In Azamir, Adolin gets the diplomatic gut punch. And that is, there's been people defecting to Odium. Amul and Tashik defected. And Azir is being surgically isolated. And then in the Thaylen city with Yasna, there's a naval threat that is happening. But it refuses to arrive and starts asking the correct and paranoid question, what's the fleet for? Battle schematics, Interlude, we've got one with Dial. Couldn't even tell you what that was about. Heard the whole thing, listened to it twice, still don't know. You keep introducing new characters to me, Brando Sando. Book 5 at page 780. Why? But what happens? Well, this is another Cosmic Corner assembling. Through the eyes of a young Iriali, we witness the fourth migration. The entire Iriali people are following their one doctrine, which is leave the planet mid-apocalypse, and their exit explains why Iri sided with Odium. Because no one interferes with an exodus. The cameo that happens, these are world hoppers that I don't know, so if you don't want to know, mute. There was an interesting relationship because it's like they were scaring the shit out of this girl, but they're like, no, we're not trying to scare you. It's like, what are you trying to do? And they're like, oh, these guys are like other Hoyd-esque adjacents. Their names are Demoy, Galadon, and Bayon. They've been lurking in the interlude since book 1, if you've been paying attention, which I haven't.
Demoy or Demu? I can't remember because I have. Yeah, Captain from,
Demu?
Miss.
That's what cows do. Demu.
They moo.
It's the first time I've seen it in writing, this name. Couldn't tell you who he is. Chat can. That's why they're here. The second interlude is Odium again. Cultivation makes her final play. Her agents move against Kharbranth, betting that Taravangian's love for his Sitting family is the lever that will break the god. Instead, him being mad with grief and fury at being leveraged, Odium then just destroys Kharbranth. His home, his supporters, his family, to burn away the last thing that can be held over him and make him controllable. Cultivation, who is horrified, retreats. The man who became a monster to save one city just erased it. So it's like when you go after Spider-Man and you kill MJ. Yikes. We've got 20 minutes and we're at day 7. Any questions so far for day 6? Avery just basically being like, holy shit, there's a lot happening in this book. Yeah. Going through the chat again. Yeah, these several day-long battle scenes drag for me. Demu is from Mistborn. Oh, which one's Demu from Mistborn? What does Demu do?
Pretty sure he was part of that initial group of Ska that Kelsier recruited into the caves. So,
okay.
Which is roughly 500 years ago. So it's a little weird that we're seeing him here.
Huh. He was the one who Kelsier used to battle with when he visited the troops in Luthadel, and had a bigger role in books 2 and 3 in the mines. Sorry, not Luthadel, in the mines. Exactly. Nevergoat said, thank you for the subscription catch. That's sweet. Look at that color of your name though, Nevergoat. It's like a really cool orange. I like it. All right, day 7. We're ready? We're ready? Day 7. We're doing this. Last day. Dalinar and Navani follow the pre-recreant's radiance and uncover it all. After the Herald's desertion, the orders are schismed. The Windrunners' leader was secretly in love with the Regal singer. I kind of loved this. I thought that this was sweet. Because Dalinar is experiencing it firsthand. He's transported in someone being like, whoa, this singer's about to lay a wet one on me. Wow, it's because she actually cares about me. This is genuine. What's going on? In my head, I was like, does it count as cheating? Navani had to watch that. He smooshed back. And then that's where my brain went. And it was a Jerry Springer episode. And I can't tell you what happens after that. I had a deadline. The words kept speaking. And the brain went that away. Dalinar experiences one of history's great forbidden kisses from the inside. Navani thought it was funny. That's why she's so great. She's just like, oh, you landed in a sticky sitch. And then together with Mishram herself, the couple was brokering true peace between listeners and humans. And at the Peace Summit, Honor and the Bondsmith Malishi betray them. Malishi springs a trap that sealed Mishram into her gemstone, ripping connection from every singer and creating slave form in a single stroke. That was messed up. You see her going from this like carapace, such a strong figure, so amazing, a sense of unity between like essentially the invaders, the colonizers and the natives, and it's all going so well, and then shit fucking goes down and they have to witness it from multiple angles. Honor showed his radiance a vision of the future where their powers destroy Roshar itself, the knight seeing what their god has done and what they might do, lay down their blades. So the recreance wasn't actually cowardice, it was conscience. And then the Stormfather admits what he is Honor's cognitive shadow, the echo of a dead god who watched all of it happen. So the Stormfather was Honor all along. Because Stormfather is like, what I will say about the audiobook, Stormfather's always had a different sound, a different feel, a different, like, had a maturity with, like, the voice that was used, the name of it being Stormfather. Like, it just had an elevated sense of Spren this whole time. So for that to be, like, a mic drop moment, I just picked up the microphone and gave it back to the Stormfather. I was like, here you go. You're not done speaking, obviously. Azamir is not faring so well with the Thunderclast that is hitting the dome as a diversion. Adolin goes toe-to-toe with it, surviving barely, though, at the cost of injuries in his shard plate. Kushkim's firebomb gambit breaks the assault, which is really cool. The prince is now bladeless, plateless, and increasingly load-bearing. My poor boy. My God. My favorite part about Captain Awesome Balls is that over the 5 years, we'll just swing by whatever stream that I'm doing and highlight a joke pun. One of them broke me one time. It was the Tolkien one. It was the Tolkien one. Adolin loses a leg? For reals? He fucking lost his leg.
You know your boyfriend lost a leg?
Nah. I was in a Jerry Springer episode.
I mean, you missed the part where they were calling him Stumpy and everything? No, I just made that up.
Yeah, they wouldn't have said that. Not around me. Talk smack about my boy. Sprinkles. There's Legolas now.
Oh, nice.
Maud's stumped by this. Also, Talon and Ash stopped the invasion. He lost his leg? I'm going to have to pay attention more. I mean, I was also listening at 2-point-something speed here. I was like, a friend told him to break a leg. Peyton, you know what you did. Right. My poor boy. The Shattered Plains break. Narak 3 falls. Moash arrives in person, carving through the North Post with anti-stormlight and killing Leighton, who's Sigzil's closest friend, Bridgefor's armorer, one of the OGs. How did that impact land with everyone? You feeling the effects of Leighton's loss? Not me. Forgot who he was. That's my bad as well. I had a really strong start, everyone, and I'm just like crawling across the finish line, not knowing that my boy's lost his leg. Like where on the leg? Like shin down? Has he still got that? Does that thigh still work? Just everyone in the chat was just like, Maude. I mean, I feel bad for him. This is obviously when he needs to. This is very anime, by the way. This is a very anime thing where it's like you don't want to drink from the, the fountain. You don't want to take the potion, whatever it is. But it's like you recognize that you are vulnerable and that there's weakness and can be exploited. And so you have to Super Saiyan or you have to go to the next level. This is going to be maybe the thing that brings Maya back, or he gets a second Spren like what Shallan has, because Navani and Dalinar, both Bondsmith. Shallan has 2. That's why they're like fated, maybe. Oh, Gaia, you sneak. There's a new quote that's been added. Does that thigh still work? God damn it. Thank you, academic, for getting me back on track. Yes, Adolin doesn't have a single spren. Well, he has Maya, who's technically a Deadeye, but you don't think that Maya counts as a spren? She's
Well,
getting
they're not bonded. That's all. Like,
It's not his friend.
no.
You know, like yeah, they're not
Well,
bonded.
she didn't choose him, but she's now choosing to stay with him because he treats
Yeah.
her like an equal in a way.
they're-
Phantom Aria says, could just be me. I think we should have cut 2 or 3 of the storylines. There's too much jumping around. Sometimes it's hard to remember what people are doing by the time you get back to them. And Phantom Aria, it changes mid-chapter. It's not like chapter 52 is from Adolin's point of view. Each chapter you have 4 different jumps, and sometimes it's a character we don't really know very well. And I'm like, what? And so when it's pinging back and forth that much, if I've been reading the book and I retain exponentially more if I'm reading it, but I'm listening to this book while I'm driving, while I'm walking my dog. So it's like a luxury to be able to actually sit down with literally nothing else to do to read a book. And it's hurting me. And I'll admit that completely. Adolin was begging Maya to let him use her, and she kept saying, wait, I'm so close. That's right. She's so close to ... And he still let her go because he said, I'm never going to make someone fight for me. If she's not ready to come back, then I will not summon her back. We love him. Avery is saying, this is how I feel about there being 3 battle scenes happening simultaneously. It's hard to remember who is where. Oh my God, Avery, I'm on struggle street with all of this. I mention a dome. You mentioned the water. You mentioned Shattered Plains. I can kind of piece it together, but like the whole latent death, I remember that just not landing with me. What happened? Okay, sure. That's kind of what it was like for me a little bit. Alicia says, look, the downside to fleshing out every single character is what's going on here. Too much. Unless you're a soap opera fan, because that's basically what this book is. And anime. Some anime. And Dragon Ball Z.
Shonen, I guess.
Yeah, shonen. Well, it depends.
I keep on saying soap opera in different ways, I'm pretty sure.
The what?
You're saying soap opera in different ways. Anime, soap opera,
and wrestling.
They're all the same.
And
they're all soap
and
opera.
WWE wrestling. Yeah. When is something going to happen? There's been a lot of build up here. Academic says, I hate the mid-chapter switches more than the fact that there are so many POVs. Thank you. Darren said the page breaks help distinguish change in POV. Don't get that luxury in my audiobook. Vaden said it's a bit surprising given that the chapters aren't usually that long. So I don't know why he just didn't go into the next chapter when he changes POVs. Yeah, that'd be nice. Maybe there's not enough stone in the archway to crumble. Berkey says, that's my problem with this entire series. Not every character needs to have a main character level story all in the same book. Alicia says, as someone who doesn't watch a lot of anime, is it frequently like soap operas? Yeah. Yep, you are telling a 30-minute story with 5 minutes of plot. Toaster Poster says, I forgot who they're fighting with all the different points of views. And then Sprinkle says, there's 3 days until the Tournament of Champions. Avery says, a friend of mine is reading Way of Kings right now and was saying there's too many characters. I was like, girl, just you wait. Right. We are still not through all of day 7, by the way. We were talking about how Leighton goes. And I'm like, what? Fucking my lover loses a leg. And I'm like, what? Yasna calls the bluff though. Her scouts confirm that the Thalen feat is a feint meant to pin her forces. So she starts redirecting the strength towards real battles. Go Yasna. Mishram also fights back. The unmade lures Shallan, Renarin, and Relaine into bespoke visions of their own worst memories, dragging them towards her prison on her terms. Renarin, the boy that the world called broken, is the one who can resist because he alone just bothers to try and understand her. A millennia of rage at humans and singers alike, and underneath it, betrayal. Back in Shinovar, Kaladin his practice expands to its most ambitious client list yet. Therapy for Zeth and his Highspren, who's decided he's asking for some help now. Highspren's name is 12124. It's a number, don't talk about it. The Wind also comes to Kaladin with a plea that reframes his whole mission. Can you help restore the Herald's shattered minds? You've passed your undergrad. It's time to start getting more practice hours, and it's time to fix the Heralds. The remaining monasteries are suddenly lit, so someone knows they're coming. And then the last line of the day, in the spiritual realm, the sweeping lighthouse gaze finds its mark. Odium steps into the vision, approaches Dalinar and Navani. Ha ha ha, I see you. You were trying to hide from me. This is very Sauron's Eye of Sauron. Odium looking all around and finally sees them. Let's have a quick chat about the interludes before we talk about Renarin and R'lain for like 4 hours. The interludes are Lift. Again, interjecting Lift, not really knowing what to do with her yet. She's trying to find the red chicken. Whatever's going on with this chicken, it's giving Moana. She stumbles upon literally Zael getting tortured, and she's like, ew, he's naked. You're like, he's tortured. This isn't an ooh situation. And even like Wendell is like, yeah, but don't you like looking at men? She's like, not like that. Isn't she 11? How old is she? 15?
We're introduced to her when she's 14.
14.
In the first
okay, that checks out a little bit more. She's more of a little kid, the way that Brandon writes her. Brandon is not writing a 14-year-old girl. But that's her.
She wants
Yeah,
and
but
that
she
is
doesn't
her
want
whole
cheap
thing.
wine.
She wants to stay young. That's the whole premise of Lift. I'm getting it. But anyway, she rescues Zael from the Ghost Bloods. And he is going to train her. Ooh, insert montage. We finally have the Padawan and the Master, which could be exciting. And then we have the correct future. This is a really short thing at the end with Odium noting Sajar Anat's rats scurrying through his spiritual realm. This is essentially what Dalinar did, but from Odium's point of view. Sorry. So he's zeroing in on Dalinar. So where does everyone stand at the end of day 7? We've got Kaladin, who's shepherding a 3 Herald adjacent therapy session caseload across burning Shinovar. And the Wind is also saying, hey, P.S., I know you've got a full plate, but there's a few more heralds that you need to fix. They've got 6 blades in the party, 4 monasteries ahead, and one of them is holding a corrupted blade. Zeth is halfway through his pilgrimage and increasingly certain that he's walking a path that someone else designed for him. His flashbacks have reached the monastery years where the voice first found him, but the question, who's cleansing whom, remains open. We got Nail, don't care. But if you do care, he's on the road with them, rigid, tragic, keeping score of every single rule that Zeth's party bends. And he knows more than he's saying, which is kind of a herald tradition at this point. We've got Dalinar. He's now watched his god choose favorites, abandon humanity, betray the singers, and manufacture the recreants, and is bonded to that god's ghost as an anchor. He's currently being approached by Odium in a realm where Odium holds pretty much all the cards. You've got Navani, we love her, Vision Navigator, Anchor Engineer, In-Vision Sibling Whisperer, and the person that's keeping Gavinor and Dalinar tethered to hope. Gav is recovered and traveling with his grandparents through the visions. That's not going to fuck with him later. Shallan has wounded Mraize, learned that Odium fears... Oh my God, I keep forgetting her name. Miriam. Not Mraize.
Mishram.
Yeah, Mishram. Thank you. Ba Edo Mishram. Thank you. I'm just going to throw to you every single time. That's great. The notes always call them BAM. And I'm like, BAM, and the dirt is gone. Did you guys have BAM, the dirt? No, Australian television? Sick. Anyway, Shallan also survived the Unmaid's attention, but Formless is stirring every single time she reaches for the kill. And now Mishram is now choosing the battlefield. Renarin and R'Laine, love this. Love them. What is the cure to the autism trait of not being able to understand intention with anything that's being said? Fucking how the listeners speak in rhythm, using different rhythms in their talking. So when R'Laine is inquisitive and is thrumming embarrassment, vice versa, he's like, wait, why? Oh my God, R'Laine's blushing because he's got all context clues in different forms of communication. It's what he's saying and how he's saying it, and Renarin understands it. I love this. I love that Renarin's just like, look, I opened the conversation. Berkey, that kills me. Berkey says, bar Mishram you. God damn it. Sprinkles is saying that R'Laine is doing the rhythm of the night. Nice. This is the rhythm. Renarin is starting to get the rhythms. He's even starting to hum when he talks. Oh my gosh, so cute. These guys have been so nervous around each other. So what would it be like for like a listener to, I don't know, like a human guy, like 5'9", also wears glasses, has a a friend called Gliss. What would that? So cute, guys. Favorite chapter almost of the book is these two just like taking a chance with each other. I absolutely loved it. I was just giddy, and I actually think because I was smiling like so big, I think a guy that I was walking in the path of thought I was flirting with him, and I'm like, no, I'm listening to the because he started like smiling back at me, and I'm like, no, this is not about you. This is about two gay men. One's a gay man and one is, well, that's a whole other conversation. Be gone. They're having a moment. We're not having a moment. Anyway, I loved all of this. And Renarin is becoming the party's spine because he understands empathy, which is a beautiful moment as well. And then we got Adolin. Oh my God, he needs a hug. I volunteer. It's okay. He's got no blade, no plate. He's wounded, undersupplied, not sleeping very much, diplomatically isolated now, and is still holding the dome by his charisma alone. Ugh. Also, Nodum's honor spren and the fact that Yanagon's growing exponentially because of that, like he's a mentor as well. We've got Kushkum's respect, all those other things. But they're all thanks to Adolin being amazing. Sigzil's whole down to 2 fortresses, 1 best friend, and a piece of his soul. Moash's anti-stormlight is the exact weapon that the Windrunners just can't answer. Yikes. We've got Venli and the listeners, the powerless allies at the moment, bonded with chasm fiends, and a message from the stone pointing at secrets under Narak, which the Recreant's vision independently confirmed that honor really did turn on the singers. And I feel like, I mean, it was all just suppressed, wasn't it? It was only recently that the humans found out that they weren't the traditional people of the land, that they were kind of from somewhere else. And I think that maybe they were taking on a burden, being like, God, did we just try to eliminate and kill all of them? And it's honor. Honor. Oh my God, the irony of it all being called honor.
Honor is dead.
Honor is dead. But I'll see what I can do. Yasna correctly diagnosed the Thaylen faint, reallocating the forces. So hopefully when I was looking for the Gandalf the White moment or the Eagles coming in, that's actually going to be Yasna and not Nodum. But that's okay. I'll take what I can get. Taravangian or /Todium, his family's gone by his own hand. Cultivation's retreated. His inner conflict's technically resolved in the worst direction, and his current focus is now Dalinar. And it's nearly day 10. Moash has eyes of crystal. He killed Leighton. He's the wielder of anti-stormlight, and is the loudest possible answer to who's Odium's champion, which probably is the point. Do you think we're gonna get a Dalinar Moash showdown? Nah, where's Kaladin? It's got to be Kaladin. Kaladin has to tap in on that shit for sure. Academic, you are not playing great poker right now.
I mean, I was just saying, Moash doesn't seem right. Right? Like, you're right. I think you are right. Adolin and not Adolin, Kaladin and Moash, they have a thing going on. Not there's no good resolution with Dalinar and Moash.
No,
right?
that would be really unfulfilling. And this is reading like soap opera wrestling anime. So like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. What is this?
It's like Kaladin and Moash are each other's foils. Dalinar and
Odium.
Caravangian are each other's foils. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So if you don't have those facing off, it's like, what is this? The end of My Hero Academia? Like, ugh. That's another conversation.
Spoilers, I haven't.
No spoilers. I haven't finished the show.
Anyway, that's the catch up for days 4, 5, 6, and 7. Jammed into 2 hours. We did it together. Any questions? Again, this was me monologuing the whole time, but we got through it all. KB Dub says, a reminder that the book is called Wind and Truth, and Kale is talking to Wind, and Zeth's looking for truth. Academic says, surely My Hero Academia can't be as bad as Game of Thrones. No, Game of Thrones was devastating. Like, personally devastating. Toastpost says, yep, my brain is mush again. And Maude Garrett says, choo-choo, motherfuckers. There is more evidence and theories happening in key moments. You kind of go over some of this, KP, that the wind is real, ancient, and recruiting. The heralds were invented people. Honors rap sheet around the, I don't know that word. I'm only read these things. That Odium fears someone that's not him. Carbranth is just no longer on the board. Moash has got crystal eyes. The Iriali just left. Until Brando Sando tells me to care about that, I'm not gonna. There's too many other things. Like, does Adolin's thigh still work? Renarin and Relaine, this is really, really cute. Slow burn. There's a lot more in there. I even had 7 different discussion questions, but guys, we cannot do it all. Just the thigh, says Academic. You got to read between the thighs sometimes. I'm so sorry for that one, but it was so good to not say it. It was too good. It was a low-hanging fruit and then some. Okay, guys, I got to stop. We got to, that's all we have time for. God. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. We have 2 more weeks to, no. Kaya says, you better get out of here before I add that one as a quote. Yikes. We've got to finish the book. You've got 2 weeks to read the remaining, 468 plus pages. We're doing from day 8 to the end. We're revisiting this in 2 weeks' time. We might have to tack on an extra half an hour to get it all done because you know that the Sanderlanche is real. In the interim, the Discord's open if you want to have chats in there. We are on Fable to do chapter by chapter discussions. I'm sorry that I literally only popped in the Renarin and Relaine moments. What is their ship name? Relarin. Relaine. Renarlane. Relaine. Relaine man.
Lane man.
Oh my goodness. Relaying. Where are they relaying information or are they relaying in bed together? You know? Ugh, okay, on a roll. I'll see you all in 2 weeks. Honestly, this is a really long month. We have kind of locked in the books for August, which I think is important because it's around the corner and I want to give you guys as much of a heads up as possible. So August is going to be Jay Kristoff's Empire of the Vampire. That is going to be our main book for August. I'm really excited because Jay Kristoff's going to be in LA and at a convention for like 2 weeks over here. So I'm hopefully going to do this podcast in Q&A with him in person, which will be really, really great. Our bonus book is an Australian author as well. Sorry, but August is Aussie month, it seems. Forbidden Alchemy is by Stacey McEwen. Her second book has just come out. This is what did I say? What are they saying this book is? It's kind of like what's Cillian Murphy's show? It's
Peaky
Peaky
Blinders.
Blinders.
yeah, so it's like a
Funny,
it's like a steampunk Peaky Blinders with some romance-ish on the side. So that's kind of how that one was pitched to me. He Who Fights with Monsters 13 is coming out in October. Maude's going on tour for this book coming out in hardcover. So if you're going to be in Orlando, I'm going to be there on, I think it's Tuesday night next week. Barnes & Noble.
Avengers, assemble!
At the Colonel something. I will post it on social media. Good Lord. I'm pretty sure it's sold out immediately is all. So Avery, you know what to do if you need it. But I also know that you can work evenings as well. Regards, Darren said that's a big book. Yeah. Yes. You know that I read 8 books a month on average. 8 books a month. I have not finished a book in July yet. Because all of June I was reading He Who Fights with Monsters and then I'm reading this giant thing. I also started 4 more books.
Yeah, are we doing the Lost Daughter of Sparta?
The what? Oh, yes. I still have to email Felicia, which I have not done because July sucks. I don't know when I have time to do any of it, and I will try to do it after Comic-Con, but holy hell, I am drowning. Did you listen to Heath Fights with Monsters? I listened to Heath do the whole thing, and then I listened to Heath do a 45-minute reading of the short story live next to him. Trust me, when someone is narrating for 45 minutes, you don't know where to look. I did make it fun, though. Every time that they mentioned, not Gary. Oh, my God, what's his name? What's Tall, Dark, and Handsome? His parents run a school.
Oh, Rufus.
Rufus. I'm like, Renarin. No, our names. Every time he said Rufus's name, the whole crowd yelled drink, which I thought was really, really fun, but it was 45
That's
minutes.
awesome. That great inside joke. Fantastic.
Heath Miller also narrates a series that I started by another Australian author called Heretical Fishing, which I'm really excited because it's cozy fishing. And I think I've said this all the time that if there is a game that I can play and there is fishing in it, I fish. I do not fish in real life. I do not care for fishing at all. Fishing is there with sport. In fact, fishing is under a sport category as far as my brain is concerned. Video game fishing, love it. So I started that one as well. Pokemon fishing, you know I did it. How else are you going to catch the secret Pokemon at that one little level along that one shoreline?
Fishing in Okami.
Is that a good one?
Yeah,
Sick.
great game in general too.
So I will get
Good game.
a schedule lined up for August sooner than later, and I will officially announce August's books as well so that you can get ahead of that. But guys, we have so much book still to read, and we'll get through it together. Alrighty, I'm going to end the stream. Stick around if you're on Twitch, though, because we're going to raid Granny Q, and it's my favorite thing to do. So don't go anywhere. But on YouTube, you're amazing. TikTok, I see that you've been commenting now. Fuck.
I love that you keep rating Granny Q.
She's the best. You know I have a
Just
soft
makes
spot.
it-
I got a soft spot